Ethiopian DNA versus Egyptian DNA, the oldest genetic link on Earth. A glowing DNA helix spiraling over the African continent, highlighting Ethiopia and Egypt, faint golden threads connecting the two regions. Two civilizations, two ancient lands, one genetic story hidden for tens of thousands of years. What if the oldest link in human history lies not in monuments or manuscripts, but inside your DNA? Ethiopian DNA, some of the most genetically diverse populations on Earth. Haplogroups E1B1B, A and L, tracing back hundreds of thousands of years, represents deep African ancestry and early human migrations. Egyptian DNA, a mix of North African, Levantine, and Sub-Saharan genes. Haplogroups E1B1B dominates, similar to Ethiopian lineages. Evidence of millennia of migrations along the Nile and across the Sahara. The fascinating fact, the overlap between Ethiopian and Egyptian DNA is among the oldest shared genetic links in human history. This is not recent mixing. These are ancient lineages dating back tens of thousands of years, perhaps even 60 to 80,000 years.
Around 200,000 to 300,000 years ago, early Homo sapiens walked in East Africa. Ethiopia's Rift Valley, birthplace of humanity, home to fossils like Lucy and the Herto skull. Over millennia, small groups migrated north along the Nile corridor into Egypt. Desert, rivers, and mountains shaped these journeys. Egyptian and Ethiopian populations, though geographically distinct today, were genetically entwined in prehistory. Visual metaphor: DNA strands flowing like the Nile from Ethiopia to Egypt, glowing as they traced ancient paths.
Genetic studies show multiple layers of ancestry. Sub-Saharan African, deep African roots. North African and Levantine, ancient back migrations. Eurasian influences, later agricultural migrations. Ethiopian populations carry some genes that later spread into Egypt and beyond. Shared adaptations. Disease resistance, malaria, viral immunity. Lactose tolerance in pastoralist groups. Skin pigmentation patterns. DNA reveals ancient connectivity that predates civilization itself, showing humans moved, mixed, and adapted long before pyramids or hieroglyphs existed.
Nile Valley civilization depended on migration, trade, and agriculture. Ethiopia influenced Egypt culturally through trade, metallurgy, and early scripts. Ancient kingdoms like Kush and Aksum illustrate shared human movement. Genetic evidence shows that Egyptian and Ethiopian populations retained shared ancestry even through invasions, migrations, and empire expansions. Modern Egyptians and Ethiopians still share 20 to 40% of genetic markers, some tracing back tens of thousands of years.
Ethiopians have remarkable genetic diversity, the highest in Africa. Egyptians show adaptations to Nile Valley environment and desert climates. Shared DNA markers shaped immunity to endemic diseases, metabolism suited for varying diets, and physical traits adopted to the region. These traits are living records of ancient survival, migration, and interconnection.
DNA proves Ethiopian and Egyptian peoples are genetically linked far deeper than most realize. Ancient lineages survived through climate change, migration, and empire shifts. Humanity's story is one of connection, adaptation, and survival. The Nile does more than flow through Egypt. It carries the story of humanity itself. Ethiopians and Egyptians, two peoples, one ancient genetic bridge. DNA reminds us that history is not just in stone, it lives inside us all.
India and the Middle East are linked by ancient genes. DNA preserves stories of migration, adaptation, and shared ancestry. Science proves civilizations may rise and fall, but human connection endures in our cells. The bridge of civilization isn't just in cities, monuments, or trade routes. It's in our DNA, and every strand tells a story that connects India, the Middle East, and ultimately, all of humanity.